Miriam's Hemp presents Cannabinoids 101. Today we'll be discussing what cannabinoids are and how they work in the body. Before we move further, I would like to clarify the difference between hemp and marijuana. First and foremost, hemp is not marijuana, and marijuana is not hemp. This is one of the most important facts to know and share because people are unaware that they are different. Oftentimes, people believe that hemp is the male plant of marijuana. This is false. Hemp and marijuana are both cannabis, but hemp and marijuana are different varieties of the cannabis sativa species. Hemp products sold in America contain less than 0.3% THC, so these products are not designed to get you high or inebriated. Marijuana, on the other hand, contains more than 0.3% THC and requires you to be of a legal age for recreational use or obtain a medical marijuana license. Throughout this education, we will be talking about exogenous, also known as external cannabinoids, and endogenous cannabinoids, which are chemicals made inside the body. We will expand on these terms as we dive further in the lesson. Phytocannabinoids are cannabinoids inside of plants. Hemp has high levels of these cannabinoids, namely CBD. Cannabinoids are partly responsible for the wide array of medicinal and psychoactive effects cannabis may provide. Currently, there are over 110 known cannabinoids, with more likely to be discovered as studies continue to reveal the complex molecule structures of the cannabis plant. Endocannabinoids. Humans produce endocannabinoids naturally on demand. The endocannabinoid system relies on receptors to let the body know which endocannabinoids it needs. They play a role in appetite, movement, learning, the perception of pain, immune responses, inflammation, neuroprotection, mood, insulin sensitivity, fat and energy metabolism, and other vital processes. A very long list of important functions for this critical system in the evolution of humans. There are three major components to the endocannabinoid system: cannabinoid receptors, which are CB1 and CB2, enzymes, FAAH and MAGL, and endocannabinoids, namely anandamide and 2-AG. You may or may not have seen this chart for raw, heated, and aged cannabis compounds. The benefits of cannabinoids stated in this chart is based on research. Raw cannabinoids are found in growing hemp plants and marijuana. Cannabinoids in hemp plants are no different than cannabinoids found in marijuana plants. Remember, the only difference is the THC content. Miriam's hemp extracts CBD and minor cannabinoids like CBDA, CBG, and CBN. The endocannabinoid system. Chemicals derived from the cannabis plant have been shown to greatly influence homeostasis within the body. In biology, homeostasis is the state of steady internal physical and chemical conditions maintained by living systems. Simply put, homeostasis is a state of biological balance within the body. Research suggests that cannabinoids have the ability to both reduce and enhance the activity of certain systems, ultimately acting as biological regulators. Cannabinoids achieve these effects in part by acting upon the endocannabinoid system, also called ECS, a system comprised of enzymes, signaling lipids, and G-protein coupled receptors known as the CB1 and CB2 receptors. These endocannabinoids, as they're called, work like neurotransmitters, shuttling messages throughout the body to help maintain homeostasis. Cannabinoids in pets. Domestic animals, like dogs and cats, also have an endocannabinoid system, as well as CB1 and CB2 receptors. CB1 receptors are predominantly found in the brain and nervous system, and CB2 receptors are predominantly found in the immune cells and peripheral organs. Why you should use cannabinoids. Endocannabinoids are much like other vitamins, minerals, and hormones in our body. We take for granted all the hard work our system does. Eventually, even the hardest of workers will get burned out if they remain unappreciated. The endocannabinoid system is no different. Many outlying factors may include in your body creating fewer endocannabinoids. Some of these stressors are manageable, while others are beyond our control. Whatever the case may be, some of the following scenarios may lead to an endocannabinoid deficiency. Poor dietary decisions, adverse reactions to medications, viral infections, substance abuse, genetics, disease, and chronic stress. As there are so many factors that may cause an endocannabinoid deficiency, the symptoms vary as well. However, research suggests that if you are experiencing any of the following symptoms, there's a chance you may have an endocannabinoid deficiency. Stress, insomnia, anxiety and depression, sexual dysfunction, digestive issues, mood swings, lack of focus, breakouts on the skin, weight gain, and loss of appetite or an increase in appetite. Clearly, the endocannabinoid system reaches far and wide. With its ability to influence so many things, you can imagine that it's important for you to give your ECS as much help as you can. You can supplement your endocannabinoids with phytocannabinoids such as CBD, CBDA, CBG, and CBN. Terpenes. At the most basic level, terpenes can be thought of as the aromatic and flavor molecules cannabis contains. Terpenes are commonly considered the essential oils of the cannabis plant. Terpenes are made up of carbon and hydrogen. They are produced in the trichomes of the cannabis plant. Trichomes are the mushroom-like crystals that cover the leaves and the flowers of mature cannabis plants that give them a crystal frosty appearance. Hemp is not the only plant that produces terpenes. Pinene is found abundantly in conifer trees, citrus pills, and turpentine, and actually comes in two different forms. Alpha pinene, the most common terpene found in nature that smells like pine trees, and beta pinene contains the aroma of dill, basil, parsley, or rosemary. Pinene has also been used for centuries as a natural antiseptic and anti-inflammatory, and has also been a powerful bronchodilator, helping to improve airflow to the lungs. It's said that pinene may also help increase alertness and could counteract some of the memory loss associated with THC. Aside from being a fun word to say, linalool is a terpene present in cannabis that is also abundant in lavender plants. It contains a lovely floral scent. The mood-enhancing properties of linalool are widely documented, and it's been used for centuries to alleviate stress and relieve symptoms of anxiety and depression. Linalool may also provide a sedative-like effect. Beta-caryophyllene is a terpene with a woody, spicy aroma that is also found in black pepper, cinnamon, and cloves. It's a bit different from other terpenes in that it's only known terpene that also acts like a cannabinoid by activating the endocannabinoid system. It's suggested that caryophyllene can be beneficial for stress support. It is also known to contain anti-inflammatory properties and may help alleviate anxiety and depression. Myrcene is the most abundant terpene found in cannabis and contains an earthy, musky aroma.
Aside from cannabis, myrcene is also found in mangoes, lemongrass, thyme, and hops, as well as its analgesic and antibiotic properties. It suggested that the potential effects contained in myrcene are relaxation as a sedative like quality. Limonene is the most common terpene that exists, and its name suggests contains a distinct citrusy aroma. Limonene isn't just found in cannabis, it's a huge part of the chemical makeup of citrus fruits like lemon, limes, and oranges. The terpene limonene is often added to cleaning supplies to create an invigorating and inviting aroma. Limonene contains powerful antibacterial and antifungal properties that acts as a potent insecticide on cannabis plants. It is known to help the body better absorb other terpenes. Limonene is widely revered for its ability to uplift the mood and relieve stress. The entourage effect. If you've read anything online about CBD, you've likely come across the term the entourage effect. To better understand exactly what this is, it's important to understand the various compounds in hemp that contribute to it. While most simply associate cannabis with CBD and THC, it's actually a complex plant composed of hundreds of different compounds. Some of these compounds not only contain benefits of their own, but also play a significant role in the entourage effect, which is what makes this plant so beneficial for your body. Some of the most important compounds in hemp that lend to the entourage effect includes cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. Let's take a deeper look into the entourage effect and everything it entails. Chemical compounds in hemp that contribute to the entourage effect. Let's start with cannabinoids. Cannabinoids, sometimes referred to as phytocannabinoids, naturally occur within the hemp plant. The most famous and abundant cannabinoids in cannabis are THC and CBD. To date, there have been over 100 identified cannabinoids in cannabis. Cannabinoids interact with the cannabinoid receptors within the endocannabinoid system and are ultimately responsible for the effects commonly associated with CBD and THC. Terpenes. Terpenes are an important aspect of the entourage effect, contributing their own unique benefits. To date, about 100 terpenes have been identified in hemp. Terpenes are known to actively affect the cannabinoid receptors and are what allow cannabinoids to enter the brain through the blood-brain barrier. They've also shown to directly impact neurotransmitters in different ways. Flavonoids. Like terpenes, flavonoids are found in all types of plants and are responsible for their color. The gorgeous greens of kale, bright hues of blueberries, and deep reds of beets aren't the only things flavonoids are responsible for. They also interact with other chemicals in the plant during various growth stages. Research suggests that flavonoids are extremely beneficial for health, as they help support homeostasis or balance wellness in the body. Now that you have a better understanding of the hemp components that influence the entourage effect, it's easier to understand why they lend to it. The entourage effect is all the compounds of the hemp plant working harmoniously together to increase its wellness-promoting potential.
What is CBD? Well, CBD, or cannabidiol, is a chemical compound from the cannabinoid family that naturally occurs in the cannabis plant. Over 80 chemicals, known as cannabinoids, have been identified in the cannabis sativa plant. While delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, is the major active ingredient in marijuana, cannabidiol is also obtained from hemp, which contains only very small amounts of THC. The figure on the left shows some particular usages for using CBD based on research.
CBG. Dubbed the mother of all cannabinoids, Cannabidiol, or CBG, plays a pivotal role in the synthesis of all the other cannabinoids within the hemp plant. CBG is a precursor to CBD, CBC, and THC. CBG interacts with both the CB1 and CB2 receptors, acting as a possible inhibitor to the psychoactive effects of THC. CBG is also thought to boost anandamide, the bliss molecule. This endocannabinoid naturally increases dopamine levels and is responsible for regulating various health functions such as mood, sleep, and appetite. GABA uptake in the brain may be obstructed by CBG, making this cannabinoid a possible anti-anxiety agent and muscle relaxant. Research suggests that CBG may also block serotonin receptors, showing potential antidepressant traits. Some studies have shown that it may also help reduce inflammation, stimulate bone growth, and relieve pain. It's also shown to have potential antibacterial and anti-tumor properties, and it may also help manage skin conditions, glaucoma, and mediate bladder dysfunction. This cannabinoid is slowly gaining a reputation as a potent compound with many therapeutic uses. CBDA. CBDA is a parent molecule of CBD. Cannabidiolic acid is a compound that eventually turns into CBD. Whereas CBD is usually found in dried plants, CBDA can be found in growing plants. Unlike other cannabinoids, CBDA does not interact with the endocannabinoid system. Neither does it bind directly to the CB1 or CB2 receptors. However, it may interact with the COX2, which is an enzyme associated with inflammation. CBDA may also influence serotonin, a transmitter associated with happiness and overall well-being. CBDA is therefore thought to deliver its therapeutic power to the body by interacting with enzymes and receptors rather than the ECS. Research on this cannabinoid indicates that it interacts with various receptors and enzymes, including 5-HT receptors. Research suggests that CBDA could potentially help alleviate inflammation and pain, symptoms of depression, nausea and vomiting, seizures, and convulsions. Recent studies have shown CBDA to be significantly more bioavailable than CBD, meaning it is easier for the body to absorb. CBN. After being exposed to air for long periods of time, tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, also known as THCA, turns into CBN. Anecdotal research evidence suggests that aged hemp or cannabis flower may make people sleepy, which could explain why some people associate CBN with more sedating effects. In a sleep study in 1975, volunteer subjects felt more drowsy when taking CBN. They especially felt more tired when taking CBN in combination with THC. The 1995 research conducted in mice has shown that CBN can help prolong sleep time. Some other potential benefits from animal studies concluded that CBN might be able to relieve pain. It might be able to stimulate the appetite. It could be a neuroprotectant. It might have antibacterial properties and has the potential to reduce inflammation. The bell curve effect. CBD works by accumulation and saturation in the body. Taking CBD one time may or may not yield any benefits or relief. The half-life, which is the time it takes to metabolize half of your dose, is 9 hours, and over a few months can extend to 72 hours. Research suggests taking CBD every day, 2 to 3 times per day, works best to replenish the ECS system. If you do not see results, continue to increase your dose until you have found your sweet spot, also known as your optimal dose. Stay at the dose that works best for you. A lot of questions that we get is, how much should I take and when can I expect to see results? That's just naming a few, but let's touch upon those here.
Legally, we are unable to make dosage recommendations, but would suggest doing some further research at projectcbd.org. Linked is their patient guidance page, which has a wide array of information for using CBD as well as suggested dosage. When can you expect to see results? Well, CBD affects everyone differently, both immediately and over time. So the product and dosage that works best for a person's needs would depend on the individual. Cannabinoid therapy can be affected by co-occurring therapies and pharmaceutical medications. Please consult a medical professional to make sure it is safe for you to add CBD to your daily regimen. Overall, the goal is to find a sweet spot. Most people start with a low dose and increase their dose every 3 to 4 weeks until symptom improvement is found.
Thank you for participating in Cannabinoids 101. We hope you learned something new. If you have ideas for other topics pertaining to cannabis and the body, we would love to hear from you. Thank you and take care.